Hi, welcome to Oracle of the Divine Ophite. I have a collective message here, so it may not resonate for everyone. And if it does resonate for you, please like, subscribe, and if you think that it might actually do someone else some good, please share this video. Helps me, helps get my messages out into the algorithm. So thank you very much, and let's get started. So this message, first of all, this is the first card that popped out, and whoever I'm speaking to, you are an absolute fucking star. You are just, you shine in every way, shape, and form. You just impress people. You are always the brightest light in the room. You're always the one that people look at. If there's 20 or 30 people in a room, you're the one that they're looking at. You're the one that they're staring at. And this has always been your personality. This is just who you are. So that's the first thing I need to get out of the way. But what also popped into the reading was that you're going through a bit of feeling that perhaps you don't have the abundance or the wealth that you think you should or that you normally have. You've been going through a period of difficulty. Just for some reason, things lately haven't been going right for you. And the message that I'm getting is that this is because of a particular person that you've been involved with. There's been someone in your life that has this person has a poverty mindset. This person has a lack mindset, and they've been leaking that lack and poverty mindset onto you. And this is not your natural way of being. So you didn't really notice that it was happening, but it was just little things over time. It was kind of, you came into this relationship with this person and you had this really positive mindset and this feeling of general wealth and abundance. And this person just had like the exact opposite. So even though you found things in common with this person and you had a lot of fun with them and you enjoy their company, because I'm not saying that the person is just a horrible person. They actually I'm getting the sense that they're actually a nice person, and that's why you like them and that's why you spend so much time with them. They have a lot of good things about their personality, but at the same time they're just really negative. They're just always dragging you down. They're always saying things that kind of rain on your parade a little bit. They're not as self-assured and positive as you are. So instead of you having the effect on them of changing their lack mindset, their poverty mindset into a mindset more similar to yours, they've actually had the stronger effect on you. So it's been dragging you down into this reverse 10 of Pentacles feeling of just not having your own abundance, not having as much abundance as you feel you should have in your life. But that is changing, because this poverty mindset that this person has leaked onto you, you finally realized that that's what's happening. You've recently realized that these thoughts that you've been having, they're not your own. These thoughts that you've been having about not having enough, not being enough, these were self-created because you were just overly connecting with this person's mentality or this person's mindset, and they were having an undue influence on you. So you finally realized that was happening, and you've been able to shake this off a bit. And what I'm also getting is that this person has a lot of monitoring spirits or entities attached to them. This is something that happened to them during childhood. They were surrounded by constant negativity. The adults in their lives were really negative, really self-deprecating, and they kind of opened up channels for entities to attach. So this might even be an entire family attachment. But I'm definitely sensing some dark energy around this person. It's not that the person is dark themselves, but they have this dark energy attached to them. So those dark energies are just drawn to you like a flame because, you know, you're this star. So whenever there's a star around, the dark entities are going to be drawn to that light, drawn to that healing presence, because dark entities actually, they're seeking healing as well. They may not be aware that they're seeking healing, but they have the same kind of, you know, subconscious psychological influences as the rest of us. So everyone wants to be healed on some level. They want to be healed, so they're drawn to the star energy, which you have. But what ends up happening is they end up actually drawing from you and, you know, taking energy away from you instead of being healed in your presence. They end up draining you, and, you know, you end up being the one that needs healing from having these entity attachments around you. So you don't have any entities attached to you because your energy is just too powerful for them to actually attach to you. But what they're doing is they're kind of gaining access to you through this person that you are spending a lot of time around. You're spending a lot of time with this person. You have been spending a lot of time with this person for quite some time now, because you actually, in many ways, you enjoy their company. So it's not been something where you've been looking, saying, wow, I need to get away from this person, or I need to end this relationship. But the entity attachments surrounding this person are definitely having a negative effect on you. But as I've said, you've recognized that this is happening, so you've decided to shield yourself from a lot of these negative energies. So it's really good. You're moving forward. You actually are putting an end to this situation with these being accessible to these entity attachments. You've started to raise your vibration. You've started to work on being more aware of what frequency you're operating in, and you know, what your actual state of mind is separate from this other person. And so that situation is quickly coming to an end because you have finally realized that, you know, it's time to walk away, because that's not you. Those thoughts, those negative feelings that you've been having, that's not you. So emotionally, it's not necessarily that you're walking away from this person, but you're walking away from that poverty and lack mindset that you found yourself in. That was never you in the past. And as a matter of fact, the image here in this card is showing me that you're actually walking away back into who you used to be. You're not becoming a completely new person. You're actually just becoming the old you with some wonderful additions, because now you're stronger. Now your vibration is stronger. You've learned these lessons. Your energy is stronger. So, you know, the situation that you're walking into in the future is going to be, you know, who you were in the past, who you were originally when you started out, before you became accessible to these entities, and before you became, you know, a bit overly affected by this companion of yours and their poverty mindset. You're just walking, you know, back into that powerful, self-assured, self-confident, abundant person that you were in the past. So that's really great. And I'm going to pull a couple more cards just to get some advice, get some overall advice, and get your current energy. Yes, so this is you with that abundant energy. Because when you're abundant as you are, you have so much to share. You have so much to give. You know, people don't need to steal energy from you, because you're just so brimming with energy, and you're just so willing to share your energy with others that anybody that spends time with you, it's just a natural thing that happens. You just share your energy with them. You just share your abundance with them. And this is why people love you so much. This is why people love being around you. This is why people love being in your energy. This is why people are drawn to you like moths to a flame. And this is the same reason that these dark entities are always trying to use other people to gain access to you. And sometimes these people that are drawn to you, and they could be very nice, kind, wonderful people, but they have these insecurities, they have these ideas in their minds about lack, and that there's not enough abundance, they're not enough, and they're drawn to you because they can see that you don't feel that way and you don't see yourself that way. But then they bring these entity attachments with them. So you have to be very sure to always do protective rituals to make sure that your energy and your emotional body, your mental body are always protected. Do your cleansing, sage your environment. I know that sounds cliche, everyone's always talking about sage, but sage is such a powerful herb when it comes to purification. But you can also use sandalwood, you can use patchouli, you can use cinnamon. There's so many different ways to purify your etheric environment, purify your energetic environment. Take showers, swim in the ocean, even swim in a swimming pool. Water is very cleansing when it comes to negative energies. Go down to the beach and put your feet in the water, or if you live near a lake or a river, do the same. Go for walks in nature. Do anything you can to constantly purify yourself of all of these potentially dark or negative energies that will constantly be trying to surround you because of the light that you hold in your heart. And let's get a couple of more cards. Okay, I'm also getting that you have recently become extra tapped in to your consciousness as being a separate entity from the expressions of consciousness that are surrounding you. Perhaps in the past, you had this tendency to over-identify with people and situations around you because you're so empathic and you're so caring and you're so generous with your time and energy. So you had this tendency to, like I said, over-identify. Someone would tell you something, like for example, this companion that you have, this friend that you have that has this poverty mindset. They would tell you their feelings about things and their ideas about things, and you didn't agree with them, but you identified with what they were saying because you were being empathic and you were kind of putting yourself in their place, kind of imagining, what it was like to be in their shoes. This is like emotional over-identification with people that we care about. And like I said, you're very empathic. So you are very, very good at putting yourself in the other person's shoes. And because of that, that exposes you. That makes you vulnerable to soaking up other people's energies and other people's feelings and impressions. So recently, you've become more aware of yourself as a separate consciousness, and you've started to realize that you can actually love someone else. And you can care about someone else without over-identifying and without necessarily feeling like you need to feel the same way they do, or you need to actually feel. You've learned how to sympathize rather than necessarily empathize. And there is a difference. You can sympathize with someone, but at the same time, you can keep your emotional body and your mental body, keep a separation, keep a boundary between someone else and you when it comes to your mental body and your emotional body. And that's very important Because if you over-identify, then you end up taking on the actual feelings and the mentality of others, and that's not always a good thing to do. Okay, let's get one more card. Okay, and the final card that we have here is the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is telling me that, you know, you're going to have a new beginning in the material realm. You're going to have a new start when it comes to how you approach your material life. There's something that you've been wanting to do. You've been wanting to do this thing for a while. You've been studying for it. You've been preparing for it. You've really, you know, been thinking very seriously about how to manifest this thing and how to make this thing come into play. It could be a new job or a new project, new creative project. And this poverty and lack mindset that you've been carrying, that was kind of projected onto you by someone else, has been preventing you from manifesting this thing. But now this manifestation is coming in because now you're ready to make it happen. It didn't happen before because you weren't mentally, emotionally, spiritually ready to make it happen. And now you are, because you're finally getting rid of that lack mindset. It's impossible to manifest anything when you have a lack mindset. You just experience delay after delay after delay after delay. But the delays are ending now. You are going to bring this thing into being before you know it. It's going to happen so quickly. It's going, you know, it's all the study, all the time that you've put in, all the work that you've put in preparing. Now you're going to see those things come into play. You're going to see the ball rolling. And this is a very good sign. This is showing that this has the potential to be very, very successful for you, as long as you keep in mind that poverty and lack mentality has no place in your world, none whatsoever. There's always enough. There's always enough to do the things that you want to do. There's always enough to create the creations that you want to bring into being. So don't let anyone else's poverty or lack mentality rub off onto you. Continue to protect your energy, and everything should go perfectly fine for you from here on out, as long as you remember those things and continue to be a shining example of what can be accomplished when you believe in the unbelievable. All right, so I think I'm going to leave it there. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. Once again, if anything resonated for you, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.